Hello everybody. This is Robbie and Gary. What zone?
Zone 10A.
We're in Gary's garden today, and he just set up a pond. Look at this. Is this cool? It's been set up now, what, 2 weeks?
The pond itself's been set up 2 weeks. I put the plants and the fish in 2 days ago. And it looks like it's been here forever, but it's only been set up like this for 2 days. I set up the water fountain, the fountain pump. Technically this should be running through clean water, or pumping clean water, like in a water fountain or a bird bath. A bird bath you can clean more frequently than I'm going to clean the pond. So I set the pump up in a little fish breeder cage, and that should keep most of the debris away from the pump itself. I set up the solar panel to the pump. The pump's in a little cage to protect it from debris, like there's a lot of junk in the water. And then I put the tubing over into this small pond here. I attached a piece of toilet fill valve to the end of it, so I can clip it onto the PVC fitting that I attached to the hole in this pond, and I can just clip it to the side, and the water just flows up from there to here, down the waterfall, and it's just circulating the water a little bit.
This is really cool. The little cage to keep the debris from getting clogged inside the solar pump, the pump itself, what is that?
That's a breeder cage for live bearing fish.
Oh, for like guppies.
Like guppies or swordtails or something like that.
So that you had when you used to raise fish years ago, so you still had one, but anybody could pick one of those up at a tropical fish store.
A tropical fish store. They're very easy to find. I just thought, because this is going to have algae and it's going to have all sorts of stuff, like there's hair algae coming through now, I don't want that to block up the filter of the pump. Like I said, the pump is usually used for clean water.
Right. In your bird baths, a lot of people flush it every day, or when it gets dirty, they flush out the water, and the water's clean.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see the dragonflies are hunting. They're splashing water around to drive insects out of the pond so that they can fly in and catch them.
They're so beautiful. I do not have dragonflies in my garden. I think I've seen them zip through once or twice, but this is beautiful. You've got a few of them flying around, and they're big and red. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, these are big red skimmers.
Red skimmers?
Yep.
Look how beautiful.
I believe that might be a female, and the one over there is a male. It's a lot brighter in colour.
So normally, you don't see a lot of people set up ponds like this in their garden with solar pumps, because solar pumps do, like you said, they have to have clean water because they're so small, the pumps, and a little bit can get in there and then it blocks it. I've actually taken some of mine apart. I figured out how to take them apart when, because I've got some that are about a year old. So I take them apart and I flush them out, and it works. I put them back together. But with that screen you've got, that's a really good idea, because the pump should not have any problems with debris getting blocked in those little blades that go around.
Yeah, it's close enough to my wall that I can just get over there and keep an eye on it. And if anything gets inside, I can just sort of pick it up and clear it. It's also floating off the bottom. The bottom's going to have a lot of sediment build up over time, and this will never be as clean as a fountain pond or a bird bath, because it's got the fish in, and I want it to build up an ecosystem. So hopefully this is going to work. Time will tell. This has only been set up for like 2 days, but it seems to be running pretty good.
So the whole pond you started putting it together about 2 weeks ago, and you just put your fish in 2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah. I've slowly, over the past couple of months, been bringing clay soil in to build this up. I want this above the ground level, so that if I have to clean it, all I have to do is take a piece of old garden hose and I can siphon the water out into my sweet potato patch. So I've got that set up, so this would normally be in the ground, but it's above ground level, so I can drain all the water out of it completely. And that's just something I might have to do from time to time. So I don't need any electricity down here.
That is so cool.
And
I like the way you set up the panel for the solar panel.
yeah, that was very easy to do. And if it, I've got my turmeric and a few other plants in here. If this gets too tall, I can always move it because this is just a garden stake, or I could put a larger stake in and raise it higher.
Wow, I see the fish swimming around. I don't think the camera's going to pick it up. But hopefully we'll have some native frogs come to the area. We know our neighbors got them. We can hear them all night.
Yeah, we've got a species of grey tree frog, Pacific tree frog.
So you were saying by raising the pond a little bit, it's easier to drain?
Yes. The whole idea of it is I don't want any extra work, so I don't want to have to run an extension lead down and use a pump to pump the water out.
That's right. Let me back up. Well, I think I showed it. Let me show how high up you got it off the ground. You have how many feet off the ground is the? Okay, so you put 2 layers of the. We're going to call these cinder blocks.
Cinder blocks. So that's about 18 inches tall there.
So you built a.
16 inches, I should say.
Okay, so it's 16 inches tall with cinder blocks, and then you filled this all with sand.
Clay. Yeah.
Clay.
From
Native soil. Then.
native soil.
And then you made, I guess this. It's like a raised bed.
It's a raised bed. I'm going to grow my taro and my turmeric, and I've got some ginger.
That's taro?
Yeah, this is taro. And I've got that I planted in my garden last year. I transplanted what came up. I started with 2 pieces, and it's produced bulbs. Last year it produced bulbs, and I've just separated the bulbs a little bit. So I've got taro, I've got turmeric, I'll plant some ginger down here, and I've got some edible canna edulis, or the other name for it I just can't think of right now. But I'm going to plant that along here, and this will be a bed for those sort of plants. And because of the water, it should keep it a little more humid, and it will also create a better microclimate here, because the pond will hold heat.
I see you have pots that are buried into the ground, like the pots I use. What are those for?
That is so I can water the plants.
Okay, so you have are there bottoms on the pot? So
No,
let me.
I trimmed the bottoms out.
So there's no bottoms.
Yeah, I just basically,
No bottoms on these pots.
like what you do, I just cut around the base like that, around the outside, put a split down the side, because some of these plants, as they produce tubers and bulbs, they will sort of push a pot out. So if this gets too big, it's going to be able to open up.
Oh, you split them.
I split them, yeah.
Oh, I've never done that. Okay, so you split them like our papaya tree that busted the pot. This will actually be able to stretch.
It'll be able to stretch and expand, and that's very important, especially with cannas, because canna edulis will just sort of bust straight out of here in one season.
Oh, that's something. I've never done that before. I've cut bottoms out, I've cut slats out, I've cut holes out. Sometimes I don't even put holes on the bottom, I put them on the side. But I've never split them to let the plant, so you're using it like a raised bed type thing, I guess, or a protection, and also to water, so the water goes directly to the plant.
Yeah, because Achira or Canna edulis or Queensland arrowroot, that's really vigorous. The turmeric isn't as vigorous, but like this here, you couldn't see it when I first planted this. I planted this maybe a week ago, and it's starting to come up. I know exactly where I planted it. This one hasn't come up yet, but there is one in here somewhere. So I've got native clay soil in here, then I covered it with sifted wood chips, And I know if I water here, it's going to get water. This one's already more advanced. I water here, I know the water's going to be here. And as they grow, they can just, you know, expand.
Well, it's good for watering, and like you said, you know exactly where the plant is too. And I've noticed a lot of times roly-polies that like to chew on plants, they don't go over the plastic sometimes. It's like a little extra protection.
Yeah, it is a little extra protection. I've noticed that the insects don't tend to bother turmeric here. We don't have anything that really bothers the turmeric.
Oh, this is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the dragonflies. Oh my goodness, they're actually, I think they're courting.
Our friend gave me the plants and the mosquito fish, and this is water lettuce. I've got some other plants in here. I think that's feather plant or something.
He told me there was duckweed? No?
Oh, yeah, the small stuff is duckweed. And that's a type of Sagittarius. I'm not sure whether it's an edible variety or I think it's an ornamental variety.
Well, we did some trading. He gave you this, the water plants get started. He's got so many ponds. And then we gave him mint and papaya trees.
Yeah, we did a trade.
We did a trade. And he gave you the pond, which is interesting that somebody had to get rid of this. And they gave it to him.
They were in a homeowners association, and they said they can't have ponds because ponds might attract ducks, so they had to get rid of their pond. So,
yes, you heard that right. His homeowners association saw a YouTube video on a person that put a pond up. They had a pair of ducks come, they raised their babies, they left the pond. They came back the following year with their babies and hundreds of ducks. Now, come on, this was a fluke. But the homeowners association saw that, said that a pond like this will bring hundreds and thousands of ducks, and they made them pull the pond out and get rid of it because the homeowners association did not want ducks in their community. So they didn't want the ducks in their community, so they made them pull the pond out. I've never heard anything so ridiculous.
I think I might have seen 6 ducks this year. So,
yeah, but not here. They flew overhead.
Yeah, in California.
Oh, in California. Yeah, I've seen them flying overhead, but that was the most ridiculous thing. I don't even think it happened here with the ducks, which is funny. But you know what? Their loss is our gain. So yeah. This is really cool. So anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
So if you're setting up more than a bird bath, you want to set up a pond in your yard to attract, all the native creatures, which are dragonflies and maybe toads and frogs and beneficial things to your garden. You can set it up solar. He has set it up solar. Look how beautiful that is. It runs on its own, no electricity, just that panel that he put up on a stake. And so he wouldn't have to worry about the pump getting clogged. This is a wrap-up. He's got that little breeder cage that you would hang on the side of an aquarium, and he's got his pump dropped in there. And that'll keep it really nice and clean and for the pump. And it should go all year without a problem. And it's so cheap. I mean, you can get these solar pumps for less than $10, sometimes up to $15. If you go to a nursery, I have seen them in the nurseries. They tend to have them for about $20, $25, but online you can get them cheaper. I have yet to have one not working, so it's really lucky. I've had one of mine stop before. I just figured out how to take it apart, clean it out, and then it was back to working again. And there's Gary hand cleaning it. Do you have to take a net and clean it? Well, you wouldn't know. You just set this up.
My net up there. My pool net. I don't have to, but I've got...
Okay, so you have a pool net.
Fish net and my swimming pool net. So if I want to clean any of this out, I can just scoop it out. And
oh, you know what? How deep is the pond?
This is about 18 inches deep.
Okay, so it's not deep.
It's not
now,
deep.
I would say as a warning, if you've got little kids who cannot swim, even a pond can be dangerous. So you've got to be very careful with the pond if you have children that cannot swim. So if you've got kids coming to your yard, you still have to be careful because it doesn't take much for an accident. So please, please keep that in mind. So even though it's not a pool, it's a pond, it's still 18 inches and a kid could slip and hurt themselves. So just be aware of that. If you have children, maybe you'd want to fence it. We don't have any little kids here that can't swim that come down here.
Yeah. And I've got the rocks above the water. If birds land in it or a lizard or something, it could get back out of it.
That's right, they can swim to the rocks. I see you have bricks here. So it's all set up really good, and you've got some plants inside pots there. Well, I guess that's it for now. I can do an update and see how it's going, because this should be really nice when it fills out.
And with that, I guess this will give you maybe another idea to think about with the solar pumps and setting something up like this in your garden. And thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, feel free to subscribe to our channel. That's Robbie and Gary. We've got a lot of videos up already and we're trying to get more up all the time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to ask a few questions or make some comments, feel free to leave a comment. And thanks for watching. And don't forget to eat what you grow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.